Some days, you feel completely unstoppable, like you can conquer the world. Other days, even simple tasks feel absolutely impossible. Where did all that motivation go? Well, here's a little secret. It didn't disappear. It was never meant to stay in the first place. We've all been taught the biggest myth about motivation, that you need to wait for it to strike before you can get started. We treat it like this magical force that has to arrive before we can take action. But here's the truth. Motivation isn't a constant state. It's a temporary feeling, and a completely unreliable one at that. So if you've ever felt guilty for not feeling motivated, stop right now. The problem isn't you, it's how you're thinking about motivation. So what's really going on in our brains? It all comes down to a chemical called dopamine. This is often called the motivation molecule. Dopamine isn't actually about the reward itself. It's about the anticipation of the reward. When you think about starting a new, exciting project, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. It feels good. It makes you want to get going. But our brains are incredibly good at adapting. They're designed for efficiency. So, when you do the same task over and over, even if it was exciting at first, your brain starts producing less and less dopamine in response. The novelty wears off. That initial rush fades. And that's exactly why motivation feels like it just vanishes into thin air. It's not a personal failing. It's just your brain doing its job. This is also why motivation can feel so random and unpredictable from day to day. It isn't just about the task itself. Your dopamine levels are heavily influenced by so many other factors. Things like your quality of sleep, your current stress levels, your emotional state, and even your physical environment. A bad night's sleep can tank your motivation. A stressful day at work can make it impossible to focus on personal goals. Feeling down or anxious can completely shut down that drive. So, you see, motivation isn't a measure of your willpower or your character. It's a reflection of your context. It's about your biology and your environment, all working together. Because of all this, waiting for motivation to show up is a recipe for failure. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll find that you rarely get anything done. Progress will be slow and inconsistent, and you'll end up feeling frustrated. But here's the twist, the secret that flips this whole idea on its head. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Think about it. Have you ever dreaded going to the gym, but once you got there and started moving, you suddenly felt energized and wanted to finish your workout? That's it right there. The act of starting, even in the smallest possible way, sends a powerful signal to your brain. It says, hey, this is happening. This is safe. This is manageable. And often, that little bit of action is enough to generate its own momentum. So, if you can't rely on motivation, what actually works? Systems. You need to build systems that don't require motivation to function. This means creating clear routines and habits that you can follow on autopilot. It means breaking down big, intimidating goals into ridiculously small steps. Want to write a book? The goal isn't write a book. It's write one sentence. Want to start exercising? The goal isn't run a marathon. It's put on your running shoes and step outside for 1 minute. Reduce the friction. Make it so easy to start that you can't say no. 5 minutes of deliberate action is infinitely more powerful than 5 hours of waiting for inspiration to strike. So, let's stop blaming ourselves when motivation disappears. It comes and it goes because it's a biological process, a fleeting chemical reaction in our brains. It was never meant to be a reliable source of fuel. Don't wait for it. Don't rely on it. Instead, design your life and your habits so you don't need it. Build systems that carry you forward on the days you feel unstoppable and, more importantly, on the days you don't. Thanks for watching. And if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more.